For the next 50 minutes or so, let's have a change from news and views and plays and sport and comedy series. Just sit back and listen to the music of two composers, Mendelssohn and Brahms. Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto and Brahms' Variations on a Theme of Height. André Previn is here to conduct the London Symphony Orchestra, and our soloist in the concerto is the young violinist he introduced last year at London's Festival Hall, where her European debut caused very considerable enthusiasm and excitement. Kyung-Wha Chung, a very charming and interesting young lady from Korea I know you'd like to meet. Miss Chung, now you were born in Korea, South Korea, presumably.
That's right.
How long ago? Not very long.
In 1948.
You're 22, 23 now?
Yeah.
And a few years after you were born, of course, there was the dreadful Korean War. Did it affect your family very much?
No, fortunately not.
You were living in the south then?
Yes.
Way down, and then you went to Seoul.
Yes,
later.
we had to move down, but later on I came back.
Now, were your parents, were they musicians themselves?
My parents weren't in music. My father majored law and my mother in home economics. But all my sisters and brothers, they are very musical. They play different instruments, piano, cello, flute, clarinet, trumpet. Yeah.
She wasn't very good, I gather, at home economics, because how many children did she have?
7.
7?
I have 2 sisters and 4 brothers.
And you're the youngest daughter?
Yes, that's right.
And you were all musical?
Right now, professionally, 3 of us are, playing, cellist and pianist and I.
Now, your mother very much wanted you all to become musicians then?
Well, no, it wasn't started like that. She meant to just for us to have certain knowledge, just some knowledge in music. Yeah. And so all of us started on piano. And I didn't take the instrument very well.
When did you start studying piano?
At the age of 4.
Oh, quite old. And the violin came much later. How old were you then?
Just nearly 7.
7. Yes, quite an old lady. But that you realized was your instrument?
Yes.
And the others started on the piano too?
Mm-hmm. My sister and my brothers, they all started on piano, but for instance, only one that stayed with the piano was my younger brother, and as soon as he started on the instrument, he immediately loved it, and the only thing he wanted to do is play.
It's surprising to us because, of course, we always think of your music as being so different from ours, but I gather that really out there, classical music for you is Western music.
Yes.
That is what you hear from when you're quite young?
Yes.
You'd have it in the home and...
Yes, I had heard lots of, recordings.
Yes.
And also in Korea, for instance, there are many coffee shops where they have very many classical records, thousands of it. And a young student, high school student or any college student can go to the shop, have coffee or tea, and listen to whatever they want to hear because they can write it down on a piece of paper, give it to the...
A sort of classical discotheque. Which we ought to have over here, I think. Then at 12 you went to America, you won a scholarship to Juilliard School.
That's right. And I studied with a teacher named Ivan Galamian, and he has taught so many, young... actually practically everyone has studied with him, I think. I'm not saying it because he's my teacher, but it is true that he produced so many, talented...
And you're not the only Korean by any means at the Juilliard School?
No, actually in Korea, in New York, in Juilliard, there are 60 Korean students in Juilliard, and that's more than Japanese or any Chinese,
And you also, with your brother and your sister, you play, professionally you play...
Yes, we play... in season, we play several concerts,
yes.
Around 12.
And you enjoy playing chamber music?
Very much, whenever I get a chance.
You would like to play more?
Yes, but, it's very difficult because I play so many concerts of my own.
Yes.
But whenever I can get the time, I play. And also, of course, we play trios with my sisters and brothers. So there are always some chamber music.
We look forward to hearing you play your concerto. And I know you have to get ready because this is not one of those concertos where there's a long orchestral introduction where you just stand there looking very composed and eager and relaxed. But you have to come banging in right on the second bar. So I'll let you go off and get ready.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Chung. Mendelssohn wrote this concerto while he was conductor of an orchestra in Leipzig for his very great friend, David, who was also that orchestra's leading violinist. They first performed it together in 1845, and another performance a few days later in Dresden launched the career of a pupil of David's, then just 14 years old, the celebrated Joachim. It was, in fact, the only violin concerto Mendelssohn completed, but it's been described as one of the half dozen or so most perfect ever written. With the London Symphony Orchestra, under its principal conductor, Previn, Kyung-Wha Chung,